Good day everyone, so for today's video, I'm going to tackle about the Module 3 which is the institutional based correction. So let's discuss the topics in Lesson 3 which are the following. Institutional agencies in the Philippines, Code of Kalantiaw, Bilibid Prison, San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm, Iwahig Penal Colony, Correctional Institute for Women, New Bilibid Prison, Davao Penal Colony, Sablayan Penal Farm, Leyte Regional Prison, Provincial Jail System, and lastly, the Public Attorney's Office or PAO. So next is, let's discuss the institutional agencies in the Philippines. So the DOJ pursues its mandate through its agencies. These are the following: Bureau of Corrections, Bureau of Immigration, National Bureau of Investigation, Parole and Probation Administration, Presidential Commission on Good Government, Public Attorney's Office, Office for Alternative Dispute Resolution, Office of the Government Corporate Counsel, Office of the Solicitor General, and lastly, the Land Registration Authority. So next, let's define the Bureau of Corrections. So Bureau of Correction is a agency of the Department of Justice which is charged with the custody and rehabilitation of national offenders who have been sentenced to 3 years of imprisonment or more. So it means that it is charged with custody and rehabilitation of national offenders. That is those sentenced to serve a term of imprisonment of more than 3 years. So there are 3 government functionaries are involved in the Philippine correctional system, namely the Department of Interior and Local Government, Department of Social Welfare and Development, and lastly the Department of Justice. So next is the Department of Interior and Local Government. It is the executive department of the Philippine government responsible for promoting peace and order, ensuring public safety, and strengthening local government capability aimed towards the effective delivery of basic services to the citizenry. So it means that the ILG is under the BJMP, which runs the city, municipal, and district jails and provincial jails through their respective provincial government. Next is Department of Social Welfare and Development. So it is the executive department of the Philippine government responsible for the protection of the social welfare of rights of Filipinos and to promote the social development. The Department of Social Welfare and Development or DSWD is mandated by law to develop, administer, and implement comprehensive social welfare programs designed to uplift the living conditions and empower the disadvantaged children, youth, women, older persons, person with disabilities, families in crisis or at risk, and communities needing assistance. So it means that DSWD is under the Juvenile and Justice Welfare Council, which oversees the rehabilitation of young offenders. So next is Department of Justice. So under Executive Order or EO 292, the DOJ is the government's principal law agency. As such, the DOJ serves as the government's prosecution's arm and administers the government's criminal justice system by investigating crimes, prosecuting offenders, and overseeing the correctional system. So it is under the Executive Department of the Philippine government responsible for upholding the rule of law in the Philippines. So it serves as its legal counsel and prosecution arm. It has its headquarters at the DOJ building in Padre Faura Street, Ermita, Manila. So DOJ is under this. These are the Bucor, Parole and Probation Administration, and the Board of Pardons and Parole. So next is Bureau of Immigration. So Bureau of Immigration, it is the immigration regulatory and control body of the Philippines. It was established by the Philippine Immigration Act in 1940. Although the predecessor agency had existed as part of the Bureau of Customs since 1899. In accordance with the revised Administrative Code of 1987, the Commission on Immigration and Deportation was renamed Bureau of Immigration as it is more properly called today. So, so it means that it is responsible for the administration and enforcement of immigration, citizenship, alien admission, and and registration laws in accordance with the provisions of the Philippine Immigrations Act of 1940. So let's proceed to the next slide. Under this code, the Bureau composed of three structural units, namely the Office of Commissioners, the Board of Commissioners, and lastly the Board of Special Inquiry. So the first is the Office of the Commissioners. Supervise and control and all import and export cargoes landed or stored in piers, airports, terminal facilities, including container yards and freight station for the protection of government revenue. Exercise exclusive original jurisdiction over seizure and forfeiture cases under the tariff and custom laws. So it means that the Bureau was given the sole authority to enforce and administer immigration and foreign nationals registration laws, including the admission, registration, exclusion, and deportation and repatriation of the foreign nationals. So that's it. So next is the Board of Commissioners. So the role of the Board of Commissioners is collectively supervising the management of the company, providing input concerning policies of the company's and management created by the Board of Directors. The Board of Commissioners continuously monitors the effectiveness of the company's policies. So it means that the Board of Commissioners is collectively supervising the management of the company, providing input concerning policies of the company's management created by the Board of Directors. So next is the Board of Special Inquiry. So it is to determine whether an alien seeking to enter or land in the Philippines shall be allowed to enter or land or shall be excluded. To make its findings and recommendation in all the cases provided for in Section 29 of this Act, wherein the Commissioner of Immigration may admit an alien who is otherwise inadmissible. So, the Board of the Board of Special Inquiry, they have the authority to determine whether an alien seeking to enter or land in the Philippines shall be allowed to enter or land or shall be excluded in our country. So next is the National Bureau of Investigation. So National Bureau of Investigation is an agency of the Philippine government under the Department of Justice, responsible for handling and solving major high-profile cases that are in the interest of the nation. So the main objective of the National Bureau of Investigation is the establishment and maintenance of a modern, effective, and efficient investigative service and research agency for the purpose of implementing fully principal functions functions provided under Republic Act number 157 as amended. So it means that NBI, it was the National Clearinghouse of Criminal, and other information for the use of all prosecuting and law enforcement entities of the Philippines. So next, let's proceed to the parole and probation administration. So parole and probation administration. This parole and probation administration, abbreviated as PPA, is an agency of the Philippine government under the Department of Justice responsible for providing a less costly alternative to imprisonment of first-time offenders who are likely to respond to individualized community-based treatment programs. So the mandate. The Parole and Probation Administration is mandated to conserve and or redeem convicted offenders and prisoners who are under the probation or parole system. The goal. The administration of program sets to achieve the following goals. First, promote the reformation of criminal offenders and reduce the incidence of recidivism and provide a cheaper alternative to the institutional confinement of first-time offenders who are likely to respond to individualized community-based treatment programs. So the function of the PPA is to carry out these goals. The agency, through its network of regional field parole and probation offices, performs the following functions. First is to administer the parole and probation system. Second is to exercise provision over parolees, pardonees, and probationers to promote the correction and rehabilitation of criminal offenders. So next, let's proceed to the next slide, which is the Presidential Commission on Good Government. So the Presidential Commission on Good Government, or PCGG, is responsible for the recovery of ill-gotten wealth accumulated by former President Ferdinand E. Marcos, his immediate family, relatives, subordinates, and close associates, whether in the Philippines or abroad. So it is also tasked with investigating cases or graft and corruption as may be assigned by the President and adopting institutional safeguards to prevent corruption. So it means that it was created by the President Corazon Aquino after she was sworn in as a president in 1986. People Power Revolution. So that's it. So next is the Public Attorney's Office. Is an attached agency of the Department of Justice which provides indigent litigants free legal assistance. So it means that PAO is its role is to render free of charge legal representations, assistance, and counseling to poor persons in criminal, civil, labor, administrative, and other quasi-judicial cases. So next is OADR, or Office for Alternative Dispute Resolution. It is the official government agency which promotes, develops, and expands the use of alternative dispute resolution or ADR in the private and public sectors, assist the government to monitor, study, and evaluate the use to ADR by the public and the private sectors, and recommends to Congress needful statutory changes to develop, strengthen, and improve ADR practices. So it means that OADR promotes, develop, and expand the use of alternative dispute resolution or ADR. So in the private and public sectors. So etc. So next is the Office of the Government Corporate Council. The Office of the Government Corporate Council, or OGCC, is the principal and statutory law office of government-owned and controlled corporations, or GOCCs, their subsidiaries, government financial institutions, government corporate offsprings, government instrumentalities with corporate powers, and government-acquired asset corporations. So next is the Office of the Solicitor General. So it is formerly known as the Bureau of Justice. It's an independent and autonomous office attached to the Department of Justice. The OCG is headed by Jose Calida. So it means that their functions is to conduct or assign and supervise all Supreme Court cases. So including appeals, petitions and in oppositions in opposition to certiorari briefs and arguments. So that's it. So next is the Land Registration Authority. So, Land Registration Authority is an agency of the Philippine government under the Department of Justice responsible for issuing degrees of registration and certificates of title and registered documents, patents, and other land transactions for the benefit of landowners, agrarian reform beneficiaries, and the registering public in general, providing a secure, stable, and trustworthy record and of land ownership and recorded interest therein so as to promote social and economic well-being and contribute to the national development. So it means that LRA, this agency is under the DOJ, which is responsible for issuing decrees of registration and certificates of title and registered documents, patents and other land transactions for the benefit of landowners, etc. So let's proceed to the next slide, which is the Code of Kalantiaw. So this is the Code of Kalantiaw. The Code of Raha Kalantiaw was a supposed legal code in the epic history Maragtas that is said to have been written in 1433 by Dato Kalantiaw, a chief on the island of Negros in the Philippines. So, the code is now believed by many historians to have been a hoax and that it had actually been written in 1913 by Jose E. Marco as a part of his historical fiction Las Antiguas Leyendas de la Isla de Negros, or in English, the Asian legends of the island of Negros, which he attributed to a priest named Jose Marco. So in 1990, Philippine historian Teodoro Agoncillo described the code as a disputed document, described doubts on its authenticity. Some history texts continue to present as historical facts. So it means that Code of Kalantiaw, this code was written in the year 1433 by Dato Kalantiaw. And next is let's proceed about the articles of the Code of Kalantiaw. First article: you shall not kill, neither shall you steal, neither shall you do harm to the aged, lest you incur the danger of death. All those who infringe this order shall be condemned to death by being drowned in the river or in boiling water. So it means that in this article, it said that you should not kill or steal or harm others. If so, your life will be in danger or you will be punished to death by drowning in the river or in the boiling water. So the next is the Article 2. You shall obey. Let all your debts with the headman be met punctually. He he who does not obey shall receive for the first time 100 ashes. If the debt is large, he shall be condemned to trust his hand in boiling water thrice. For the second time he shall be beaten to death. So it means that it is said that you should obey, and if you have death with someone, you should pay at the agreed time. If so, someone who does not obey promptly or may receive punishment which may beat violently in the in the first time, and in the second time he may be beaten to death. Article 3. Obey you. Let no one have women that are very young, or nor more than he can support, nor be given to excessive lust. He who does not comply with, obey, and observe this order shall be condemned to swim for 3 hours for the first time, and for the second time to be beaten to death with sharp thorns. So it is said in this article that there should no one to have women that are very young, or be given to excessive lust. If so, they will be punished to swim for 3 hours, and in the second time they will be beaten to death using sharp thorns. So next is the Article 4. Observe and obey. Let no one disturb the quiet of the graves. When passing the caves and trees where they are, give respect to them. He who does not observe this shall be killed by ants or beaten to death with thorns. So it means that when passing the caves and trees, you should be quiet and pay or give a respect. If so, who doesn't follow or observe this order may be killed by ants or beaten to death with thorns. So next is the Article 5. You shall obey he who exchanges for food. Let it be always done in accordance with his word. He who does not comply shall be beaten for 1 hour. He who repeats the offense shall be exposed for 1 day among ants. So it means that you should obey. If someone exchanges food, then you should always done it in accordance with word. If so, I if so, he shall be beaten for 1 hour, and if he repeats his offense, he shall be exposed by the ants for 1 day. Article 6. You shall be obliged to revere sites that are held in respect, such as those of trees of recognized worth and other sites. He who fails to comply shall pay with one month's work in gold or in honey. So in this article, it means that you are required or obliged to honor the view, such as those those recognized worth, and if so, the one who failed to follow may face consequences. So next is the Article 7. This shall be put to death. He who killed trees of venerable appearance, who shoot arrows at night at old men and women, he who enters the houses of the headman without permission, he who kills a shark or a strike cayman. So it means that people who kill trees, shark, shoot arrows at night, and enter houses without permission may be put to death. Article 8. Slavery for a doom. A certain of time shall be suffered by those who steal away the women of the headman, by him who keep ill-tempered dogs that bite the headman, by him who burns the field of another. So it means that it is said that a slavery person may suffer when they steal away a woman of the headman and may may face consequences. So next is the Article 9. All these shall be beaten for 2 days, who sin while traveling by right, kill the manaol, tear the documents belonging to the headman, or malicious liars, or who mock the death. So it means that in this article, it is said that if you kill manaol, singing while traveling, tear the documents belonging to the headman, liars may be beaten for 2 days. So next is the Article 10. It is decreed an obligation that every mother teach secretly to her daughters matters pertaining to lust and prepare them for womanhood. Let not men be cruel nor punish their women when they catch them in the act of adultery. Whoever shall disobey shall be killed by being cut to pieces and thrown to the caimans. So it means that who disobey the regulations may be killed by being cut into pieces and be thrown to the caimans. So next is the Article 11. This shall be born who by their strength or cunning have mocked and at and escape punishment, or who have killed young boys or try to steal away the women of the elders. So it means that if the person who deceive or mock and escape punishment or killed young boys, etc., may be born. Article 12. These shall be drowned all who interfere with their superiors or their owners or masters, all those who abuse themselves through their lust, those who destroy their idols by breaking them or throwing them down. So it is said that if you interfere with your superiors or abuse themselves through their lust, uh, destroy by breaking them or throwing them out, may be drowned. So next is the Article 13. All this shall be exposed to ants for a half day, who killed black cats during a new moon, or steal anything from the chiefs of or agorangs, however small the object may be. So it means that the one who killed black cats during new moon or steal anything from the chiefs, even small object may be exposed to ants for half a day. Article 14. These shall be made slave for life, who have beautiful daughters and deny them to the sons of chiefs, and with bad faith hide them away. It means that the one who have beautiful daughters and deny them to the sons of chiefs, and with bad faith hide them, will be made slave for life. Next is the Article 15. Concerning beliefs and superstitions, these shall be beaten, who eat the deceased flesh of beasts which they hold in respect, or the herb which they consider good, who wound or kill the young of the manaol or the white monkey. Who it means that who eat the died body of beast which they hold in respect, or who kill young of the manaol or the white monkey, will be beaten. Article 16. The fingers shall be cut off of those who break idols' wood and clay in their alangans and temples, of those who destroy the daggers of the tagalons or break the drinking jars of the latter. So whoever break drinking jars of the latter, destroyed daggers of the Tagalones, break idols, wood and clay in their alangans, and temple will be cut off their fingers. So next is the Article 17. These shall be killed, who profane sites where idols are kept, and sites where are buried the sacred things of their devatas and headmen, he who performs his necessities in those places shall be burned. So it means that whoever this disrespectful about where about where buried sacred things of devatas and headmen and etc. will be killed. So next is the Article 18. Those who do not these rules to be obeyed, if they are headmen, they shall be they shall put to death by being stoned and crushed. And if they are agorangs, they shall be placed in rivers to eaten by sharks and caimans. So it means that if the headman or the agorangs doesn't obey the rules may be put to death by being stoned and crushed, or being placed in rivers to be eaten by sharks and caimans. So next is Dato Kalantiao. Dato Kalantiao was once considered an important part of Philippine history as the one who created the first legal code in the Philippines, known as the Code of Kalantiao in 1433. So, Dato Kalantiao, he is the one who made the first legal code in the Philippines in 1433. So, next is there are seven institutional correction of the Philippines. First is the New Bilibid Prison, San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm, Iwahig Penal Colony, Correctional Institution for Women or CIW, Davao Penal Colony, Sablayan Prison and Penal Farm, and lastly the Leyte Regional Prison. So first is New Bilibid Prison. So this is the New Bilibid Prison. The New Bilibid Prison or NBP in Muntinlupa, Metro Manila is the main insular penitentiary designed to house the prison population of the Philippines. It is maintained by the Bureau of Corrections or BUCOR under the Department of Justice. As of November 2021, the NBP housed 28,545 inmates, which exceeds its ideal capacity of 6,435. So it means that it is New Bilibid Prison located in Muntinlupa, Metro Manila, which designed to house prison population of the Philippines. And as November 2021, they house 28,545 inmates and exceeds its capacity of 6,435. So next is the San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm. So this is the San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm. According to historical accounts, the San Ramon Prison was established in southern Zamboanga on August 21, 1870. Though a royal decree promulgated in 1869. It is established during the tenure of Governor General Ramon Blanco. The facility was originally established for persons convicted of political crimes. So, it is established during the incumbent or of Governor General Ramon Blanco. It is located in southern Zamboanga on August 21, 1870, and this institution is for convicted of political crimes. So, next is the Iwahig Penal Colony. So, this is the Iwahig Penal Colony. It is one of the most popular prisons in the Philippines. It was established in 1902 by the United States for the Filipino prisoners who had fought with the Americans during their colonization in the Philippines. It is located at Barangay Iwahig, Palawan, and is 30-minute ride from the province capital, Puerto Princesa. Currently, it houses some 4,000 inmates. So, Iwahig Penal Colony. So, this prison was located at Barangay Iwahig, Palawan. It was established in the year 1902 by United States for the Filipino prisoners who fought with the American, and it is one of the most popular prisons in the Philippines. And next is the Correctional Institution for Women, or CIW. So this is the Correctional Institution for Women, or CIW. It is a women's prison located in Mandaluyong, Metro Manila, Philippines. The prison is operated by the Bureau of Corrections. The prison first opened on a 18-hectare or 44-acre property on February 14, 1931. Previously, women were held at the old Bilibid prison. So it is operated by the Bucor, and this prison is for women and located in Mandaluyong, Metro Manila. It is opened on February 14, 1931, and has 18 hectare. So next is the Davao Penal Colony. So this is the Davao Penal Colony. Was established on January 21, 1932 in Panabo City, Davao del Norte, Philippines. It has a land area of 30,000 hectares with a prison reservation of 8,000 hectares. During World War II, the Davao Penal Colony was the biggest prison establishment in the country, which was used by the Japanese invading army as their imperial garrison. So this prison was the biggest prison in the Philippines during World War II, which was used by the Japanese as their camp, and it was built on January 21, 1932 in Panabo City, Davao del Norte. So next is Sablayan Prison and Penal Farm. So this is Sablayan Prison and Penal Farm. It is located in Occidental Mindoro and relatively new. Established on September 26, 1954 by virtue of Presidential Proclamation Number 72. The penal colony has a total land area of approximately 16,190 hectares. So it means that it was built on September 26, 1954 by virtue of Presidential Proclamation Number 72. Also, it is located in Occidental Mindoro. Thus, it has a total land area of approximately 16,190 hectares. So next is Leyte Regional Prison. So this is the Leyte Regional Prison. So the Leyte Regional Prison, situated in Abuyog's Southern Leyte, was established a year after the declaration of martial law in 1972 by virtue of Presidential Decree Number 28, while its plantilla and institutional plan were almost ideal. Lack of funds made the prison unable to realize its full potential, and its facilities are often below par compared with those of other established penal farms. So, this prison, after the declaration of martial law in 1972, this prison was built a year. It is located in Abuyog, Southern Leyte. So next is provincial jail system. Provincial jail system was first established in 1910 under the American regime, supervised and controlled by the provincial government and headed by the provincial jail warden. So it was built in 1910 under the American governance, and it was headed by the provincial jail warden and supervised and controlled by the provincial government. So next is division. So an institution managed by God-centered professionals and trained personnel to serve as the principal catalyst for rehabilitation or restoration that leads to reformation of the social, physical, and spiritual aspects of persons being detained to develop as law-abiding citizens for eventual reintegration into the mainstream of society. So the mission is the office of the provincial warden shall promote safe and total detainment and rehabilitation or restoration of detainees under its custody. So next is the Public Attorney's Office or PAO. So it is attached agency of the Department of Justice which provides indigent litigants free legal assistance. So this agency under the Department of Justice or DOJ gives free legal assistance for those who are poor people or people who cannot afford lawyers. So that would be all. Thank you for watching and listening.